Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me today here back at my desk. Very excited actually to do a video on Tarn, a character that I know nothing about. I have no emotional attachment to this character at all. But when I saw it announced, just had to get it. It's an awesome, awesome figure. And I'll figure I'd do a quick video for anyone out there that may be interested. I was so excited. I already took this guy out of the box. I didn't waste no time. I was playing around with it. And indeed, it is an awesome figure. It comes in this awesome packaging that I love the colors here, very Decepticon. Like no plastic because they're going into the whole environment conscious thing, which I guess it's a good thing in part. Here's the awesome drawing, I guess, or there that you see of Tarn shooting with his lasers. Here's the actual toy showing you. I guess I have this Evo Fusion feature now on these figures. Really cool. And the robot mode and tank mode. And this is obviously named as Comic Universe Tarn. And then, of course, the Legacy line. You've got Hotshot there from the different, I think that's Armada, Optimus Armada there. A couple of Junkions and Insecticons, I believe. Yep. But nice packaging nonetheless. I throw mine out because I really don't have space for figures. But I think if you do keep yours in box, it's a really nice packaging. In the box, you do get your standard instructions. This guy's not too hard to transform, and the transformation is actually enjoyable. You guys could see all the different, like 27 different steps. In addition to this awesome figure here that you see, you do get a couple of parts, which are essentially his weapons. You get this little plastic thing here that goes attached to his back and also in tank mode, which is essentially the turret. And it does pivot, and it's in this nice dark gunmetal gray and this dark gray color. Really cool. And then essentially you get these two cannons. These are painted really nice. It's almost, I want to say, like a really dark purple with that lighter see-through plastic there. It's really cool. And they're both the same. I think it's some nice detailing. But essentially you can take these two cannons and attach them to this part here. And what that does is it essentially makes his weapon here. And you can rotate this any way you want to. Normally you would do it like this and tab it onto the arm here. And that looks pretty badass, I must say. The other part of this is that you can also attach it to his back. So if you swivel this way, what you can do then is go back here, take these awesome looking antenna things down, and tab this in, essentially, like this, if you want. And yeah, then he's got cannons that he can aim and shoot at people, which is actually what they're showing back here in the side of the box. Really cool. That's awesome. And then the last gimmick, which I guess is part of the whole Evo Fusion thing, is you could take these two cannons and essentially make one of the longest rifles, weapons, things I've ever seen on a figure. This is pretty tall. It's almost as tall as the figure itself, which is awesome. And he can, of course, hold the weapon in hand. He could more than likely he'll need to sort of two-hand that there. But that looks awesome. I think in part because this is an awesome looking figure. So that's a weapon itself. As far as the figure, as I said, obviously I'm a pretty big Transformers fan. Mainly G1. Obviously, I'm aware of Beast Wars and all the other series Energon that have come out. Didn't quite get into the newer, I think, series where specifically where this guy was introduced. I do know from doing a basic search that he is part of something called the Decepticon Justice Division, and there's a couple of other Decepticons in his group that so I have to catch up at the very least because I mean this thing looks awesome. So I'm hoping that the other designs for the other robots from his the Decepticon Justice Division are just as good looking as this one. as a toy, this thing just looks awesome. Even just standing there, like if you don't want to post this thing looks badass. But that's the other thing of it is that it is very postable. Just want to mention something minor on my copy, and it's something that hopefully doesn't plague yours. Is my left arm here is very loose. I'm hoping that I'll be able to add some floor polish here to perhaps make this a bit tighter. When there's no weapon on his arm, it's not so much an issue. But if I try to put on the cannon, it just causes a lot of weight, and it kind of just sits there like very loose in place. But other than that, that would be my one complaint, I guess. But that's not something, I don't know. Hopefully, as I said, your copy doesn't have that. I guess the other thing too is the face looks awesome, and I really wish they would have included some light piping just for the eyes, just to go that extra step. When you look at the head, it looks like there is some clear plastic in there, but it doesn't really let any light through. So I guess a bit of a missed opportunity. Nothing that ruins the figure though, because again, great job there. You guys could see starting with the paint apps, at least on mine, they're pretty flawless. No mispaint or chips or anything like that. No, like, I guess for lack of a better word, no overspray anywhere. This thing is pretty mint, and it really helps to the overall look of this figure. Again, a lot of detailing there in the grays, the purple. The other cool thing is there's not so much, actually there isn't really any hollowness on this. Just, I guess you could look at this back part here, but that's not so bad. I really do like this figure a lot. As far as articulation, I mean, this thing I think could be posed up in some pretty awesome poses. The other cool thing is that the hands here also do open, so you have articulated fingers there. You could see, so he's not just stuck with this fists, and you know, he can turn pretty much around. The cannon kind of gets in the way, but he can turn his waist, his head turns, you know, left, right. It can look up that much and then down not too much, but hey, legs, that's really cool. I love the gold apps here on the knees. These are really cool, and I love the feet. Always reminds me kind of like a lion-like feet on this guy, but again, continuing that gold motif. And again, those paint apps are done really well, I think. And you can turn the legs. But that's one thing that I love about this figure, is that he is indeed very, very poseable. You can, I think he would be very friendly on like a flight stand. You could put him in some kind of maybe Gundam-like pose, and this is what this guy reminds me of. Very Gundam-like, but also you could tell obviously this is a Transformer, especially with that awesome face there. Check that out. Obviously, the Decepticon logo. Again, I don't know much about this character, but man, whoever designed this thing, kudos to you, because it looks really badass. And then there's the good old Decepticon logo in gold. You see all the little details on the chest parts. Yeah, this is, again, an awesome figure, I think, for the price range. They knocked it out of the park. In my opinion there. And as you guys could see, you know, once you get him propped up, he could look pretty badass there in different poses. Really cool. I will attempt to do the transformation on video. We will see how that goes, and yeah, let's get it started here. So first thing, at least according to the instructions, is you are going to take these and essentially fold them down, and they're going to tab in place here. There's a section on the antenna. You're going to go like that. Same thing here, tabbed in. And then essentially you're going to pull this out slightly, and then you can turn it. Once you do that, then the other thing to do would be to hide essentially his head here. You're going to push it back into that empty section there, and boom, there goes the head. Next thing to do is essentially the arms here. You're going to pretty much go like this, like that, leave them up. And then this chest part here needs to be tabbed off. So you just kind of pull it out slightly up like that, not all the way up. I believe this is all clear plastic, so I would be really careful with these sections. Next thing to do is these chest sections here. You could pull them out slightly to give you a bit more room. That's part of the transformation there. And then essentially you're just going to turn them back. There you go. And then that should allow that section to essentially go up. And you're going to look something like this. So there you go. And then I'm going to cheat and look at the instructions because I don't remember the next step. So next thing is to pretty much have this front section sitting like that. It looks like you can pretty much push it into this tab, but I usually don't. Again, clear plastic kind of worries me, and this is what that is. And I don't want to break it. But essentially, it's just going to sit like that. And then we're going to do the legs. Just going to essentially, there's tabs here. There's a section here that goes into there. You're going to put that in. And then once you have this like this, this section here is just going to go down. Yeah, and then you're just going to push this this tank section forward. Just trying to get it in a right angle. So there we go. Sorry about that. So you're just gonna push this essentially down. And the one thing to keep in mind is there is a section here. There's this nub that's gonna go here in this, essentially this middle hole right there. You're gonna put that in there and make sure that kind of gets tabbed into place, and you guys will see it'll sit like that. So now that we have that done, the next step would be to do the legs essentially again. So you're gonna take these pretty big feet and fold them down. And then the next thing to do is bend the knees, because the knees are going to be part of the, essentially the upper part of the tank there. I mean, these might come apart, so it's fine if they do. But essentially you're going to fold them in and they have to untab. But once you do that, once you untab the knees, you could tap this back in. And then essentially just leave them like that for now. You're going to need to sort of leave that alone for the transformation. Next thing to do would be to mess with these arms here, those forearms. And we're just going to essentially take these sections here and we're going to move them out for now. Move them out like that, so you have something essentially that looks like this for now. And then the next thing to do is these sections here have these separate. So you're going to, from the top here, just push this down. And same thing on this side, push that down. And then essentially we are going to try and put these in here. So there's a section here, I don't know if you could see it, that goes tabbed in there. So you're just gonna push it in there to try and get it tabbed in. And then you're gonna take this tank section here, all like that, and you're just gonna push it in there, and it should go in. There you go. And then you take this section down, and it's just gonna sit in place like that. And then same thing here. You're gonna essentially take this, you're gonna push this arm this way so that it tabs in place. And then take this, make sure that goes in there, push it in, and then you just kind of take that. The hands are essentially, at least according to the instructions, supposed to go facing down. And this is one of the things that I'm not too crazy about the tank mode, is that the hands kind of just sit in the back. But we're getting there. Thank you for hanging in there with me. And then essentially you're just going to take these legs and you're going to tab them into here. There's sections under here where my thumb is at are going to go here. So we are going to try and attempt that, and it'll fit just like that. And then essentially you pretty much have the tank mode here. And the last thing to do is to essentially take this, a bit of part forming there, and you're going to essentially make his weapon again. And then I believe you turn this around, and you're going to tab this in, sorry, not this section, but you're going to tab these two plastic sections into here. It'll kind of lock the legs in place. There you go. So once you put that in, here's your tank mode. I actually do like this tank mode. It's pretty cool. More into cars and planes and ships. But this is pretty good, I think, as far as tank modes go. There is some hollowness underneath, but that's not too bad. My main complaint about this mode is, again, that the hands are kind of just hanging out there in the back. Would have been cool if they could somehow find a way to sort of hide these in place, but you know, doesn't look too bad. The turret does spin, so that's really cool. And again, because the robot mode has all this purple and dark gray and gunmetal gray and gold, and it looks really nice. So this carries on to the tank mode there, but it's really cool, really nice. And I like that the Decepticon logo is right up front. It's really cool. So let me do some tank comparisons there for you guys. As far as tank modes here, I'd figure the first Transformer here is Siege Megatron in the, I think this is 35th anniversary color, something to that effect. I'm missing the longer turret gun part that goes in there, so I don't have that. Just wanted to show them off. Obviously this one is much bigger, but this is a way better tank figure. This guy's kind of just laying there. Underneath, it's like very hollow, but just wanted to show there for comparison's sake. This is a way better tank mode, but way better looking. I only have this figure because of the paint that they added, the paint effects, to look a bit more like the animation or the cartoon. But there you go. Those are tank modes. Here he is next to Warpath. So again, just showing the size difference. This is a cool little tank. This is, I guess, more of a Cybertronian tank there. But again, I think that looks really nice. I like the way they both look. This is a way better looking crazy alien tank, whereas this is more of a, I guess, a Earth mode tank. But again, there's a bit of a size difference, so you guys can see that. And then the next one just had a War for Cybertron Megatron from the video game line. This one came out a couple of actually years ago, a long time ago, I think by now. But you guys could see him there. The style of this Megatron did remind me a little bit of this one, because obviously this is more of a Cybertron type tank mode. So a lot of the edges, the sharp edges here, did remind me a lot of this figure, but still this is a way better tank mode. But again, they're not from the same lines. This is a much older toy, so just want to show the show them all there together. And then if you want to see all of these there, then there you go. There's Tarn in tank mode with the other tanks, at least most of the ones that I have in my collection. Okay guys, so as we close this video, I am extremely happy with Tarn here. Again, not knowing anything about the character, decided to go ahead and order this figure. I did get this via Hasbro Pulse. It came in literally yesterday. Didn't waste no time, opened it up. I would highly recommend it. It looks awesome, it's very well put together. Even though my copy has a bit of a loose arm there, I think I'd be able to fix that myself with some floor polish. But you guys can see him. He looks great. The sculpt is great. The colors are great. The face is awesome. He looks really good. I like the build. He's like he looks strong, but a bit slender. But it looks awesome. The shoulders almost looks like he's wearing some kind of football gear with the shoulder pads. The weapon's great. I love the tank mode. So awesome thing. Definitely would recommend that you go out and get this guy. As we close, let's go ahead and do some quick comparisons. Here he is next to Earthrise Optimus Prime there. You guys can see him. And also our Earthrise, no, sorry, Siege Megatron. Standing there together, looking pretty cool. So we'll move those guys aside. And let's put in here Rodimus. Here's Rodimus Prime. Again, just to show you some size comparison. And here he is also next to Blaster there. Again, just to show you the size comparison, he's pretty comparable in size there to those other two guys. Let's see what else I have here. Let's put him next to some. Here's Megatron. This is the War for Cybertron version from the video game from way back when. And here he is next to Shockwave. It's pretty cool seeing the different hues of purple there that they used. I actually prefer this purple. I think this Shockwave would have looked a little better in this purple. But there you go. Just want to show there that comparison. What else? Okay, let's do some triple changers. Here he is next to Astro Train from the Siege line. And here is Legacy Blitzwing. Again, looking awesome there. Fits in really well. And again, you can see the different purple there that's been used on both figures. Then we can also then do, here's of course gotta have good old Starscream there, so you could see him next to Motormaster, Legacy Motormaster. And this guy's standing a bit more with the A stands there, but he's a little bit taller. But again, there you go. And then we'll put them aside. And I think we have a couple more. Oh, you know what? Let's do some smaller figures here since they're out and about. Here he is with Cliff Jumper and Warpath. Just trying to fix his stands there. Kind of fell over there for a bit. There you go. There's Earthrise, I believe. And this is from the Studio Series Bumblebee, Busworthy Bumblebee line. But again, just want to show the size difference. This guy comes out looking pretty huge. But there you go. And then the Kingdom Cyclonus and Galvatron. And Galvatron's still an absolute beast of a unit. But that actually looks really well to my eyes. I like that, even though I know this is more IDW, I think comic inspired. But again, I think that looks great. And then lastly, the last one here, and the main reason why I decided to pick up Tarn here was because of this guy, Jaxus. I think this is an awesome looking figure. So when this was announced, I was like, you know what, I have to get this. I know nothing about this character either. And then when I saw the reveal for this one, I was like, hey, there's another character I know nothing about. And they both look awesome. But yeah, this Tarn figure is definitely the one to get. I'm going to be displaying these two together in my collection, sort of my offshoots, my G2, and I guess now Tarn, the comic universe, Tarn there. But highly recommend it, guys. Go out and get it if you can, even if you're not a fan of this guy, or maybe if you don't know much. Maybe like me, it'll prompt you to start reading some Transformers comics. But there you go, Tarn. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. Let me know, if you have any comments, any questions, anything I can answer for you. Again, I got Tarn via Hasbro Pulse there, so you can get it there. I think you could also get it. You can get it a bunch of places. Thankfully, this guy is not store exclusive or anything crazy like that, so I appreciate that. Anyway, with that all said, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for spending your very valuable time with me. And maybe watch one of my other videos. If not, like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Be nice to yourself. Be nice to each other. Take care of yourself. And see you next time.